The Oklahoma Sooners have made another offer to a 2026 recruit, and this could be a sign that maybe Oklahoma is not confident that they can land specific recruits. So, of course, we're going to talk about it today. We're going to dive into the offer. We'll talk about where Oklahoma's potentially pivoting with some of these guys. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like, hit the subscribe button. This content's completely free. It's how you keep it free, and you want to be kept up with recruiting, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I want to hear from y'all. So join the discussion. Jump in the comments below and let me know what you think, because June was a pretty good month for Oklahoma. It's not over yet. They can still land a couple of guys, but I think July is going to be a big month for Oklahoma. They will probably get the rest of their class, if not 90% of their class committed by that time. So the Oklahoma Sooners made another offer this week. And again, you don't see this a whole lot. In the 2026 cycle, the Sooners know who they want to pursue. So for them to offer somebody this late into the game means they're probably going to have to start to pivot in a different position, because they might think the guy that they're currently recruiting is going to commit somewhere else. But the offer that they made today was to the 6'4", 195-pound athlete out of Bell Buckle, Tennessee, from the Webb High School, Joel Wyatt. Now, you might be saying, well, he's an athlete, so what position is he going to play at Oklahoma? And if you go and you look at his offer tweet from Oklahoma, he didn't necessarily tag a coach. He tagged the assistant GM for Oklahoma. But if I went back and I looked at his max prep stats, because I said, what does this kid do? Where does he play? Well, let me tell you, on the offensive side of the ball, this dude is an absolute monster at the wide receiver position. On the defensive side of the ball, though, I definitely think long-term potential to play strong safety for Oklahoma. But let's talk about this. Wide receiver in his career, 19 games played, 56 receptions, over 1,100 yards, 13 total touchdowns. On the defensive side of the ball, though, and this is where I think Oklahoma's probably recruiting him. Haven't had a chance to talk to Joel yet, but this is where I would imagine Oklahoma's leaning. In his junior year, 10 games played, 14 solo tackles, 31 total tackles, 3 tackles for loss. He had 1 fumble recovery. In his career, 19 games played, 37 solo tackles, 68 total tackles, 4 tackles for loss. He had 3 fumble recoveries, 2 interceptions. I think this is going to play. Now, strong safety, that's going to be Brandon Hall's recruitment. We know what great of a recruiter Brandon Hall is. So, Joel has a commitment date currently scheduled for July 6th. Now, you take a look at his recruitment. Where has he been? Got a total of 28 total offers. He's been to Vanderbilt on June 13th and Tennessee on June 6th. Those are the only logged official visits. Now, I do know that this was a Tennessee-Vanderbilt battle, and this really came down to, between the two schools, of how they were going to utilize him, right? You know, was he going to be utilized more on the defensive side of the ball, or was he going to be able to play offense? I believe Vanderbilt wants to use him as a wide receiver, as Tennessee, I think, last I heard, wants to utilize him on the defensive side of the ball. But Cooper Patagna over at 247, one of the national recruiting analysts over there, had this to say about Joel. Polarizing two-way athlete with a robust multi-sport background that possesses the ability to project to either side of the football at the next level. A long, gangly mover hovering around 6'4", 200 pounds, Wyatt operates with a relative ease and athleticism on both sides of the ball, while demonstrating the ability to chew up cushion quickly and navigate in and out of breaks efficiently at the wide receiver position. Although he's still developing as a pass catcher, the top 247 standouts' length, leaping ability, and open field elusiveness makes him one of our more dynamic prospects in this position group. And on defense, the Tennessee native will situationally reside as an overhang safety, covering ground quickly while flashing natural instincts and run support, but is primarily used in the 3-4 stand-up edge, where his speed and athleticism are virtually impossible to defend opposing offensive linemen. Although his collegiate position projection is still coming into focus, Wyatt unquestionably possesses the elite physical traits to play receiver or defensive back on Saturdays, while his lack of lower body mass will more than likely prevent him from playing any closer to the line of scrimmage. Either way, the 247 standout projects an all-conference prospect as a power forward level with potential to develop as an early day NFL draft choice. Now, I will say this, based off what Cooper said about Joel, looks like a cheetah to me. Looks like the Oklahoma Sooners could use him in that way. But the question is, who could the Oklahoma Sooners potentially not feel confident in to have to pivot? And you could look at Jacob Eberhardt, but I think that one's going to go Oklahoma's way. Probably Braden Presley. When you look at that recruitment, you've got Oklahoma State, you've got Kansas State, you've got a bunch of other schools that have been in there, been doing a really good job. Oklahoma State's obviously had his brothers at one point. If you're the Oklahoma Sooners, you might not be feeling as good about that as maybe you thought you were, which is why you could be seeing a pivot to Joel. But I actually think Joel would be a phenomenal prospect. And Jim Nagy had to give the stamp of approval here. Jim Nagy definitely wants Joel on this team as well. So if you're an Oklahoma Sooner fan, I think you're excited about this offer. I think if Oklahoma is able to make a last-minute push and land Joel, this would be a phenomenal addition and definitely be a surprise. But Lake Dawson is the one that looks like maybe made the offer. That's who he tagged on Twitter. Lake Dawson just created a Twitter account too, by the way. So intriguing there. In other news for Oklahoma on the recruiting trail, you did lose Desmond Green to the University of Florida. Craig Dandridge picked Georgia, did not pick Oklahoma as a wide receiver. And then you've got Drew Evers going to SMU. So Oklahoma missing out on 3 recruits today. This is going to be Thursday, June 26th. The Oklahoma Sooners got a plan, and I'm telling you, July is potentially going to be a big month. I believe you have Tyler Ruxer's commitment in there. I definitely think you could probably see Davian Gross pop in July, and you guys know where I'm at in Davian Gross's recruitment. Love where Oklahoma has positioned themselves for him. But I want to hear from y'all because I think this was an interesting offer from Oklahoma, definitely late in the cycle, trying to make a last-minute push. So jump in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about Joel Wyatt and the offer from Oklahoma. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like and hit the subscribe button because guess what? This recruiting content is free. This program is free. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button. You'll be brought up to speed on everything Oklahoma football, everything Oklahoma football recruiting. And sometimes we talk a little bit of basketball, softball, and baseball. So we kind of dabble in it. You guys just tell me what you want, and we'll continue to go from there. So hit the like, hit the subscribe button, jump in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think of Joel Wyatt. Hey, and you know what? Maybe we'll have a commit coming up here soon. Check it out Saturday. All right. See you guys later.